Hello and welcome, this is Mousegunner, and we're back with some more Unity of Command. So it is the first turn, and from what I remember, I've done most of the activities that I wanted to do up in the north, but we have the south still to take care of. Unfortunately, for the south, it's going to be tough going. See what we've got as far as, well, this is not bad odds here, and we may be able to break the entrenchment because these guys are engineers. What is your special unit? Okay, so you've got anti-air. And what are our chances here? We also have engineers here, and there's a bridge there. We could try and crack these guys open. Then go from there, and then you have, what, more anti-air? Okay. So we could move forward here and then try and smash these guys. These guys are not that strong as far as units, so I'm going to start down here. Let's see if we can get this guy at least to break his entrenchment so we can get across the river, because I believe there's a bridge there. Yeah, there is. Okay, let's go ahead and try it. We did breach them, so let's now switch over to this unit, and we will try and... It's still one-on-one odds, so we may not actually be able to kill that unit despite breaking the entrenchment. What I could do is I could move this unit down into the forest and then move this unit up, kill this unit. Possibly, I'm not sure, but not attacking across the river might give us some advantages. And then we bring this guy across the river. So that's what I'm going to try and do. How are we doing on supply over here? Not bad. We have a supply point right nearby us. We're going to move up here. And in theory, we might be able to smash these guys. Okay. We have one more movement point, I believe, but unfortunately with the cost of train, we won't be able to get very far. But here, we'll be able to cross the river, and this is, I think, much more important, because now we have better odds when we're fighting. As a matter of fact, looking at this, this guy here is going to be weaker to us, so we'll go after him. Okay, I think that's not a bad push to start. Now, the problem is up in the north, we have a single bridge, and we have the engineers. And here we have a chance of getting this guy to back off. And if that happens, we'll be pretty golden. I think trying to get across the river is the important thing here. So, out of curiosity, what are your odds? Not good. You have... Okay, you have a Stug 3, okay. We'll go with this one. Hopefully we can break the entrenchment. We did indeed. And then maybe we can follow up on that with this unit. It is an attack across the river, which does have a certain amount of risk, but it did work. Okay, well, who do we want to have cross the river here? The engineers? I mean, whoever crosses here is going to be possibly in a lot of trouble. This gives us +1 armor and maybe a little bit of attack and defense. Here we have the pioneers, which are engineers. Give attack and defense, and we know that allows us to break through entrenchment. I don't know if I want to move this unit, because we might give the Soviet forces a way to cross the river. How are we doing on supply up here? Okay, it's a little tighter, and the real problem we're going to have in this engagement in the south is we have no rail line to work with. So eventually our supplies are going to start running a little low. It won't be so bad in the south, but up here in the north, it's already kind of looking bad. As soon as we cross this river, I think we'll be out of supply up in this section. So that is a real concern for us. So how about the enemy? The enemy has supply here with good range. What is our objective here? Turn 6. Well, either way we look at it, I should cross the river here. I think we should do it with this unit. I mean, the Soviets could cross the river here anyway. So, I mean, they have the numbers on me, but I just think this anti-tank unit will give us some better defense with the armor. So, that's what I'm going to go with. We can always follow up. Now that we've gained the river, holding the river is the important bit. I might have been able to do more attacks if I had done that move a little bit differently. and maybe we could have moved faster, but I don't know who I would have attacked at that stage, because these two guys are entrenched, and then these are motorized units, which are going to be stronger. So, and, well, this one might have been alright to attack, but they're pretty good strength units. I don't know how easy that would have been. Let's see what the Soviets do here. Maybe this is a little too conservative of a plan, but we'll see. Now, there is a risk that the Soviets may be able to try and take my supply line here, because I didn't put a lot of units in here to defend. I put enough, but maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how hard they drive. They don't have any bridge crossings here, so although they do have a man here. I don't know if this rail line here is going to do me any good. This one obviously is very important, as it's going to be the way that we keep our men supplied in this northern push. Alright, well, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead. What may help us out and what we may strive to do is capture this and then continue to capture down this rail line. It might help us out in the south. Granted, we might already capture this objective by the time we get all this other stuff done. Okay, well, as I said, I don't think there's anything else I can do here. I could build bridges, but where would I build them that we don't already have a bridge crossing? And we have to have both sides of the river as well. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anywhere where we could take advantage of that. We could build a bridge here, but there's already a bridge there, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, let's go ahead and end the turn. See what happens. That wasn't too bad for turn one. We were a little conservative because they had a lot of entrenchment. We're going to allow the enemy to retreat here, and that's going to break their entrenchment. They did cross the river. I was afraid they would do that. But we'll try and smash these guys. We do have infantry around them. Oh, is this frozen? I'm not sure I realized that. It shouldn't be frozen. It's August. Alright. Maybe it's just he's moving along the coast. Yeah, because I can't... I can move along the coast too. Kind of... Okay. So, yeah, most of these guys in the south broke their entrenchment except these couple guys, but I'm not too worried about them. We'll have to see if we can punch a hole in here. They did a pretty good job of trying to surround me. We do have a guy that crossed the river here. We may want to do something about that, maybe not. Again, what is he going to do? Is he going to march all the way down here to capture my supply line? Because, really, we could cut him off from supply a lot easier than I think he could cut us off from supply. Well, I think my movements are going to be pretty straightforward in the south. So I'm going to hit this guy, see if we can lower his unit strength. So I say that. I mean, if I'm able to, then I can move further. So I think this is a good idea. We're not likely to get better odds anywhere else, so we'll weaken this unit and allow us to push up a little bit further. We have to be careful about losing our supply line, but I think we'll be able to pull it off. And it's now weakened. So if I am able to, what I think would be a good idea is we move here, we hit this guy, hopefully killing him. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull that off with everything being said, but if I fail, we do have a risk of them cutting off my supply line, and then we're going to be in trouble, but I think it's worth the risk. We have to get moving here. Okay, we did manage to destroy him, so now we can move up and solidify our supply line. So the enemy, to cut our supplies, are going to have to go all the way over here and then come around here and then go through there. So they're not going to really be able to pull that off. They could cross the river, but that's not going to necessarily cut off my supply line. And I have a really good chance of encircling them if they do that too much. We do have airstrikes. I think moving in the north is going to be where a lot of my focus is going to be. We don't have an objective here, so capturing this city isn't really going to matter. We do have some men that are out of supply, like these guys here. Speaking of supply ourselves, we may need it to. We may need to extend our supply line this turn. We'll have to see. I think probably a good idea is to move this guy up. This is the extent of how far he can move. Actually, let's go back a bit. Let's see if we can smash this guy that crossed the river, make him pay for that. These guys are maintaining their entrenchment, so I'm not sure I really care about them right now. But I do care about a guy like this that crosses the river. Okay, he gets it cornered. We should be able to wipe him out here. And we don't have to worry about getting an overrun as well, which does help. Now, attacking across the river is not going to be too good for us. Now, I could cross the river right now if I wanted to, although in theory the enemy could cut me off from supply by crossing river here, crossing river here. So I have to be careful. I think I should wait on that. What is your unit? You have a KV-1, which is going to be a heavy tank and support. So maybe tough to get through this guy. Let's see what our tank can do against him. So 2 casualties, or we could do 4. What's our chance of getting an overrun? 20%? We do have tanks here as well. This may be close to the limits of their movement. I think we ignore this guy because he's entrenched. And honestly, as far as supply goes, pushing on Novgorod doesn't really make a lot of sense. We want to stick near the rail line if we can. But really, this guy here is kind of a thorn in my side. And they did body up here to stop me from encircling them pretty well, I think. The question is, can I follow up with the encirclement? I think the good idea here is what's stopping the encirclement is this guy's zone of control. So we need to break that zone of control if we can. What is the damage we can do here? 3 casualties? That'd be pretty good. What can this guy pull off? Only 1 casualty. I think we should save his attack for now. Now, him being physically where he is good for us, because it may allow us to move up in there. Granted, no, it doesn't really let me move up where I want to move at all. So these 2 guys are kind of halting our breakthrough a bit. Now what I could do is I could attack this unit and kill them, and then use my tanks, come in, move into this spot. We know we've cut this guy off from supply. Hit this guy, probably, because it looks like my tanks can't go that far anyway. So, you know, looking at things, I think hitting this guy makes a certain amount of sense, because my tanks can only go so far. And if I'm able to hit this guy, this tank can move around here. Now, granted, we're not staying on the rail line, which is something I want to do. I'm not sure how much that benefits me. I could move here and hit this guy. There's no zone of control, so it could help us open up things. Likewise here. And I'm assuming we may have heavy casualties here if we attacked. Let's go for it. See what we can pull off. Only 2 casualties. Well, it's something. We only got 1 casualty, unfortunately. I think that's due to our low unit strength. So we're not getting that great of numbers. Okay. Unfortunately, this unit is still strong. I still think we should hit this guy. We can try and push through here. This guy's still gonna try and stop me, though. So... okay. Well... we have you don't think we can get much further even with this guy not being here. So let's move here. Let's hit him. Okay, we did get him to get out of my way, and he is a weakened unit now. So we have a little bit more possibilities. Let's go ahead and hit this guy. We have a very high chance of getting him to retreat, so let's hit him. Wow, that was very ineffective. Oh. And I unfortunately can't follow up with my infantry either. How are we looking on supply? This unit would be out of supply here. We may want to stretch our supply lines. If I move here, I may be able to get the tank to leapfrog. Because right now this guy's blocking me. I do have to consider, though, them cutting off my supply, which I don't really want them to do. I feel like the enemy has effectively cut off or prevented me from breaking through here. I almost feel like killing this unit makes more sense because we can link these guys up and get them in supply. So let's do that. Did unfortunately take a casualty there. But what I'm thinking here is we can move this infantry here, which is going to bring the supply from the rail line over. We also cut this guy definitively off from supply. Still out of supply, though. Okay, well, we only have one really attack that makes sense, and that's to try and drive this guy back. Okay. Let's see if we can get ground. So we can do 2 casualties here with our motorized unit. And we do want to push these tanks aside. So let's go for that. Again, not as effective as the game would make me think. We've got a fairly good chance to get him to retreat. Fortunately, we're not making ground here at all. Let's have this motorized unit. What I need to do is I need to get my infantry in here. So we'll have this motorized unit back up so that we can stop this guy from getting supply cut. Because, well, he could move here. Would it cut supply? No, it wouldn't. So the problem is, because I didn't make any ground here, I have to move somebody if I want to bring this infantry in. I very much do want to do that, so I guess I'll move the Panzers here. Move you up. And we may be able to finish the tank off here, and then maybe move the Panzer into its position. And let's go for that because that's a better attack. Okay. Then the Panzer can move into the position. And now we've increased our control of the rail line. This guy could move up here, but it wouldn't stop my supply lines at all, so we're fine. We still have a problem here of not getting supply. But yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do about that right now. All right. Get my other men moving here. You do if I hit the space bar. Not a whole lot. Well, I should push forward with this tank regardless. I may be able to get into this spot though. So that's why I am thinking about my move carefully. Then again, I don't really know. Let's move here. Maybe we'll be able to leapfrog. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Try and cut this guy off from supply. Now, our units ourselves are going to be cut off from supply. Now, I still have airstrikes that I haven't used, and I realize maybe I should have. Maybe made more ground here, but we could use it on the city. But again, this is not a major objective to me. So just keeping him cut off from supply lines makes sense. So where would I want to use the airstrike? My tank is still being held. Maybe I will leapfrog here. If I move this unit here, I might be able to get my tank in where I want it to. There we go. Alright, so airstrikes. Where should we use them? Well, we've got some locations here we could use it. Like, for example, we could try and take out this motorized unit, which is kind of standing in my way. We could attack the... Actually, one of these units makes more sense. Maybe we go after the tank here, the Panzer Division. Well, that's not really a Panzer Division, but the Soviet equivalent. We could hit them, because they're stopping my northern push here. But I think the southern push is more important. Although we already did it, so the airstrike doesn't really matter too much. I think we will hit here, because we need whatever help we can get. Here we go, that wasn't too bad. I'll take it. Alright, so as far as my move here, we could move all the way up here without having to worry about supply lines being cut. Whether I'd be in supply in this location is a no, unless I extend my supply lines, which I think I'll be alright doing. Go ahead and move up here. We need to have some ground made. You can just straight up kill those guys. Okay. Fortunately, they locked me in, though, so I can't use that overrun on anything. But that's okay. Do we want to drive forward with the motorized unit? That more than likely would be cut off from supply if we did that. But again, this guy here is not really going to be bothersome to me. He can't really cut off supply. He may be able to run down this way, cause me issues, but the infantry down here can mop him up if that's the case. He'll eventually run out of supplies, so I think we advance. I'm going to extend my supply line no matter what I do here, so we want to get moving. Now, the question is, would he be in supply even if I extend my supply line? I don't know. So as a result, I don't think I will. Okay, this unit doesn't really have a move that I feel is particularly strong. We could move to here, which would be not in supply. I think we just move here. We try and contain this guy. He should be cut off from supply. I mean, he already is. But next turn, he'll be cut off for supply for the second turn, so we'll be able to annihilate him. We'll just kind of hold him where he is. And here, this is not really a wise move. Keep where we are. Okay, the north. We can do 2 casualties there, 1 casualty there. I think we take the 2 casualties. Okay, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and back off so that we can put another unit across the river. Got him. Unfortunately, I did create a hole for myself, but I would not be able to maintain it and maintain my supply line. Because if I go forward right now, all they have to do to cut me off is move here. And if I move a unit in to stop that, this unit, all they have to do is cross the river, which they can very much do, and they cut this line off. So it's very easy for them to cut my supply line. They don't have to really work at it. So I think the smarter move is to move this guy here to stop that river crossing. Unfortunately, if this guy hadn't moved where he did, I would have been able to maybe hold this a little bit better. But we did make some progress. We did take out a tank unit, which is problematic, so it's all good. Then again, if they do move to cut me off from supply, how hard would it be for me to get it back? Pretty hard, actually, because I'd have to fight back across the river. So, yeah, I think this is the smarter move. I don't really have an attack across the river because these guys all have entrenchment. Okay, well, I think that's everything that I would like to move this term. This guy's going to stay here just in case more of these guys decide to get the wise idea to cross the river. Just to stop them from being able to cross the river in a spot where they may be able to cut my rail line. I'm going to move a little further this way, just to hold on to that. All right, so we're going to have to see what the Soviets do. I do want to use this, though. Oh, so you're going to do one area. Well, I think we're going to do it from here, +1 range, because that's going to be the one that matters. See if that worked. It did. All these guys should stay in supply. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and end the turn, see what happens. I still don't have a bridge I think I want to make. No, I don't think so. Maybe it will be more important later. Maybe we could rebuild this, but that doesn't matter as long as we hold on to this. Okay, let's end the turn. Okay. So this guy should be easy to defeat, the guy in the town. And they have moved to counteract my drive down the south. Okay. So yeah, this guy, he's still entrenched, so unfortunately for me, despite being cut off from supply, I think I have to wait one more turn for him to really be in dire straits. So, we'll have to see about that. Maybe I should have moved a little bit more over, because this guy actually has a realistic chance of being able to cut me off from supply now. Okay, so I think this is an anti-tank gun in our way. Alright, so we know that a lot of our guys will be cut off from supply at the end of this turn. Unless we do something about it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit this guy. Now cornered, which doesn't kill him, unfortunately, for me. I don't have enough movement to stop his drive to get the supply line. So what I may end up doing is having this guy come back and kill this guy. Now that does open this guy up to do whatever he wants, and I don't really like that, but I may be able to wipe him out, so we'll see. I have to really plan out my move, I think, well here. We want to get back into supply as soon as possible. Now, one thing that I'm considering here Okay, so this rail line doesn't really do much good to the enemy down here. Cutting this rail line doesn't help me. Because this is what's supplying here, and this is really good supply for them, so they don't really need it. Okay, with that in mind, I think the airstrike up here maybe is a little bit more important now. Unfortunately, they did plug this hole. We'll run out of men if they keep that up. Force pool. Alright, we can call in reserves, but it would cost me points. Calling in a tank might be worth it. Where would it come in? I think I have to hit deploy. That's 720 points. There's no way we're going to get that back in this scenario. I just want to know where they would come in, but I'm not sure I'm going to get that information. How much would you cost? 480? $480. These may be worth it because motorized units are pretty strong. And I may be able to mop up this guy without having to redirect any other forces. You know what? I think I'm going to go with that. Go there. Not do that. Where you end up. Go more there. This would be the one that would be more ideal to mopping this guy up. So I think I am going to do that. Just so it saves me the hassle of having to deal with this guy. We may even be able to overrun him and still be able to pull off some cool things with this particular unit. So we did get an overrun, so that's good. I will be able to get an attack with this unit this turn. Now we need to punch a hole. Or something. I needed to pull off something here. I don't know if the airstrike here makes a lot of sense. I don't have anybody that's a obvious one, except maybe this guy. We don't have great odds to hitting him because he's in the woods. Alternatively, we use the airstrike down here and try and make the ground that we're looking for. For example, this is full odds. That's full odds. These are going to be some of the stronger units. I think we need the most help down the south, so I'm going to go with the airstrike here. Okay. Good suppression. You are the unit with the anti-air. But it can also be used as armor. Hit this guy the most effectively. Let's hit him. The problem is they outnumber me so much that I don't actually know how easily I can make ground without them being able to cut me off from supplies somehow. Well, let's hit here first. Okay. Then we should be able to wipe these guys out. I was going to say, if we get extraordinarily lucky, we might get the overrun. But we didn't get lucky. Lost a unit there. I think we'd be alright to move here and here. It's possible they'd be able to... No, see, they wouldn't be able to cut me off some supply because they'd have to cut this line. They could cross the river here, but that would take them at least 2 turns to pull off. I think I'm alright. Now, in this case, we have the same odds of hurting the motorized unit as we do anyone else, so I think we hit them. Okay, and then here we have the same dilemma we had before. I have to move this unit into a spot That's not ideal to get across here. As long as we have one movement point, I might be alright. So let's move actually here. Yeah, we can move back across to protect the river. So I think I can pull this off. So what do you have? You have that. Let's have you cross and kill these guys. Then these guys will come in. I guess it doesn't really matter which one I hit. I just need to hit somebody. Let's hit this guy. Okay, we took a little bit of a loss there, but we weakened him. We'll move there to protect the river. Okay, I think the movement in the south is going all right. I mean, we are pretty outnumbered, but at this point, we're starting to even the odds. As a matter of fact, they only outnumber me by 1 unit at this stage. I think. No, 2 units. And then they have this guy, which isn't... he's holding objective. So, if we were able to kill 2 more guys, and 2 of them are... well, 3 of them are already weak. If we kill 2 more guys, we're equal odds, and then it's going to be a lot easier to pull things off down here. Alright, now in the north... I think it makes a lot of sense to hit this guy now. But let's see if we can make ground. I want to continue to push this way. Then again, I think there's a certain advantage to just wiping this guy out right this second, because he's going to be... well, I mean, he can't do anything to me. So, I'm not sure I really care about him. Let's do a little bit of a shimmy of some of my units here. So you, my friend, not good for you. So 2, 2, 2. I guess what I'm going to focus on is hitting units that I can hit multiple times to see if we can severely weaken or destroy certain units. So I'm going to hit this guy in the woods rather than this guy. Okay. I'm going to follow it up with an attack. Say that. Now that we look at things. Maybe better off attacking here. 50%. Yeah, let's go with this one because we have a high chance of getting him to move away. Fortunately, we didn't get it, but we should be able to finish his unit off fairly easily. Go ahead. I'll move here. I'm hoping... actually, let's do that with the motorized unit. We'll move there. I'm hoping that this motorized unit, yeah, can leapfrog, so we can get a little bit of movement going here. Go ahead and smash this guy. Good. There's definitely a danger of this guy crossing the river and cutting off my line. So obviously we want to stop him from being able to do that. But you're going to move up here. And what you're going to do once you move there, I don't know, but I think we just finish this guy off. Make that a little easier on ourselves. You're going to move here to protect the rail line. You're going to smack this guy to make him feel a little bit bad about himself. Oh. Now he can't cross the river and cause me major problems, so I don't really care about him anymore. Okay. Let's see if we can get ourselves what we're looking for over here. I mean, ideally, we'd actually want to be pushing more over this way than what we're currently doing, but, you know, I gotta take what holes it gives me. Right now, it's not giving me a lot, so... I could probably very easily push this guy aside and keep driving this way, but then we'd run out of supply, so that's just a bad idea. Gotta weaken this guy first. Infantry mop him up? No, not yet. That sucks. Can't even follow up on it with my tanks. So it's just gonna be this move. Now, because unfortunately I got slowed down a bit. What I could do... I don't know if this is a wise move, but I could just move down here because I don't have really a better attack right now. Or to this guy, just to get him out of the way. Have this guy move back to where he was. We maintain the line. We could have this guy, now that we don't care about our back line so much, push up a bit. Should be in supply there just fine. And we gained a little bit of ground. Maybe a little slower than I'd like, but it's something. What is our objective here? Turn 5? I think we can do that. As a matter of fact, I think we've more or less broken through. We only have a handful of units in front of us. At this stage, it's going to be all about trying to punish those units that are in front of us. Make them not really a thing anymore. Now, I think moving all the way over here would be an extraordinarily bad idea. As a matter of fact, even moving here, I think, would cut me off from supply for next turn. One turn I don't think is that big of a deal, though. It'd be really remarkably easy for him to get cut off from supply. All this guy would have to do is come up this bridge, and he'd be cut off. So, no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to hit this guy and murder him. And then, are we out of supply? We are, but I can move out of supply. So, get to this moment, I'm just going to move back. We get murdered if I attack this turn. How about we move this infantry where he'd be more useful, over here. And then you are going to slip over this way. Okay, and I think we've got him kind of cordoned off. We'll be able to murder him next turn. Is there anything else to move? I mean, this guy's here just to protect our supply line here. So, that's kind of what his job is. And at the moment, we just kind of have this standoff here. Which, honestly, I don't know if I really care about too much, but I'm not going to let the enemy just do whatever they want. But I think this is going to be a good point to go ahead and wrap up the video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.